Welcome to the channel. In this video, we will see how to execute Cucumber tests by using a declarative pipeline in Jenkins. We will start by reviewing the required plugins in Jenkins. Then we will create a declarative pipeline in Jenkins. First, we will create a pipeline by storing the script in Jenkins. Then we will create a pipeline by storing the pipeline script in a GitHub repo. Okay, so let us start with step number 1, that is by reviewing the required plugins in Jenkins. Let us click on Manage Sections. From here, let us click on Plugins. From here, let us go to Installed Plugins. Now, here, let us search for Pipeline. So this is the plugin that is needed. As we see, it is already installed on my system, so I'll skip this. The second plugin that we need is Cucumber Reports. So this is the plugin that is needed. As we see, this is also installed on my system. Okay, then let us go back to the dashboard. Now let us move further and let us create a declarative pipeline. So for that, we need to click on new item, and here we get to see this option pipeline. So let us select this, and here we could provide the name. We will say testing pipeline. We could provide any name. So then we will click on OK. Now let us go to this section pipeline. Here, as we see in the drop-down, there are two options, pipeline script or pipeline script from SCM. So these two options corresponds to these points. So first, we will store the pipeline script in Jenkins. So that is, we will first choose this option, pipeline script. Okay. So here we see this text box. In this text box, we need to provide the script for the pipeline. Let us now take a look at the Jenkins documentation. For that, let us search for Jenkins pipeline. Let us click on this first link from jenkins.io. This is a documentation for pipeline in Jenkins. Now here let us scroll down to table of contents where we see declarative pipeline fundamentals. Since we are creating a pipeline using declarative pipeline, so this is a section we need to refer to. So here is a template that we could use. So let us copy this template. Let us paste this in a notepad. So this is the template for creating a pipeline. It starts with the keyword pipeline. Then we have mentioned the agent. If we want to execute the pipeline on any specific agent, then we need to mention that here. If we are okay to execute it on any available agent, then we need to mention here the keyword any. Further, we need to specify the stages that our pipeline will have. Okay, so in our case, the first stage will be git clone. So we will clone the repository from the GitHub. The second stage will be execute tests using Maven, right? And the third stage will be publish test report in Jenkins. Okay, so let us now add the code for these steps one by one. So let us start by adding the code for git clone. Here we see a hyperlink pipeline syntax. So let us click on this. Using this link, we could generate the code snippets for each stage. So let us first generate it for git clone. So from the drop down, we will choose here git, since we want to clone a git repository. So here we need to provide these inputs, and then when we will click on generate pipeline script, it will provide us the script for this particular step. Okay, so first we need to provide the repository URL. So this is the repository that we will be using. So if we go to the home of this repository name is Selenium. Here we need to click on code and then we need to click on copy. So with this we'll copy the URL for this repository. So now if we come back, we could specify the URL here. Next is we need to specify the branch name. So here we could have multiple branches. We need to make use of main branch. This is the name which is specified here. So instead of master, we will specify main. Further, we need to specify the credentials that are needed to connect to this repository. So these are the credentials that I am choosing. These are already configured in the Jenkins here. So you need to configure it if they are not available. That could be done by clicking on this add button. Okay, so we have now provided all the inputs for this particular command. So let us now generate a snippet for this. So for that, let us click here and we have the code snippet. So let us copy this code snippet and let us update it in our script out here. So with this, our first step is ready. Now let us move to the second step, which is execute tests using Maven, right? So for this, let us again go back to this form, and from the sample step, if we are on a Windows machine, then we need to choose this option bat to execute the Windows batch script, or else we need to execute the shell script by choosing the option sh shell script. Since I am on Windows, so I'll choose bat. So now we need to provide the command that we want to execute. So we will say mvn clean test. Also, we need to specify the directory where the pom.xml is present. So why we need to specify is because here when we go to the home of the directory, we do not have the pom.xml in the home of this directory. If it is present here, then we don't need to mention. So we will go inside this folder where the pom.xml is present, and now we will copy this path. So we will come back here, and here we will specify the path. We will say -f to provide the path, and then we will provide the path of the pom.xml, right? Now we will click on generate script. So this is the script to execute the Maven command with targets clean and test. Okay, so let us now copy this script and paste it here. With this, our second step is also ready. Now let us move to next stage. We want to publish the test report in Jenkins. So for that, let us go back to the script generator, and from the drop down this time we need to choose Cucumber report. So this is a plugin which we have installed. So we need to provide the inputs here to generate the Cucumber report. So let us click on this advanced drop down here. Now here we could leave all the other optional parameters as it is. The two important things which you need to provide here are JSON reports path and JSON include pattern. So basically this is the folder where the test report in JSON format is present, and this is the name of the JSON file which contains the test report, right? So if you take a look at the repository, so our test report is present inside the test report, which is this file test report.json, right? So we could copy the path for the repository from here by clicking on this link. Now we need to go back to pipeline syntax and let us put that here. In this particular text box, we need to provide only the path up till the folder. So that is up till here. So now this is the name of the file. So we need to provide the name of the file here, which is this one, test report.json. Basically what we are saying, inside the repository we have a folder with this name, and then it has a folder inside it with this name, and inside the test reports folder we have a file with the name test report.json which has the test results, right? Okay, so rest of the things we could leave as it is. Now we need to click on generate pipeline script. So this is a script it has generated. So as we carefully see, here we see the two options which we have provided, the file include pattern. So this is a test report.json and the JSON directory. So rest it has taken the default options. We could skip or take them, it is okay. Then let us click on copy here and let us go back and update this step here. Okay, so with this our script is ready. Yeah, let us now copy the script and we will go back to Jenkins. We could close this now. We will go back to Jenkins. We have now generated a script using this pipeline syntax, right? Link. So now let us paste the script here. So as of now, we are pasting the script here in the Jenkins itself because we have chosen this option. Later, we will move this script to SCM, that is GitHub, right? Okay. Let us now click on apply. Okay, so with this we are ready. Let us take one quick look at the script. So we are saying git clone. It will perform the clone of the main branch. Credentials are this, and then the repository URL is this. Okay, and then it will execute the test by saying mvn -f. This is a directory that has pom.xml file, clean and test fine. Then it will publish the test report. Okay, so here we have specified a directory that has a test reports file, and this is the name of the test report JSON file. Fine, so the configuration looks okay. Then let us now click on apply and let us click on save. So with this, our job of type pipeline has been configured and we have saved the pipeline script in Jenkins. Let us now execute this job. So for that, let us click on build now. Okay, it should now start the job. As we see, the job has got triggered, right? And here we get to see the first stage. The name of the first stage was git clone and it has got completed in 6 seconds. So the second stage name, which is named as execute tests using Maven, is getting executed. So these are the names which we have specified: execute tests using Maven, publish test report in Jenkins, right? Yeah, so this stage will first perform a MVN clean and then it will execute the Cucumber tests. So as we see, our test runner file has two features, so both the features will get executed one by one. So let us, okay, so as we see, the browser has got launched, so it is executing the first feature file. So after this, it will then execute the second feature file. Okay, it should now launch the browser. Yeah, so as we see, the browser has got launched, second feature file is getting executed. So as we see, okay, it is progressing. Okay, so the second stage is complete. Now it is publishing the test report in Jenkins. That is also over. And we see the job is marked as successful. If we, as of now, we do not see the reports link here. If we refresh this page, we should get to see a link, which is this one. So this link will have the reports, the Cucumber reports. So this link we are getting to see because of the plugin which we have installed in the beginning, the Cucumber reports plugin, right? And because of the configuration which we have provided here, right? Yeah. Okay. So let us now take a look at the Cucumber reports by clicking on this link. As we see, this is generated just now. So this is the latest report, or else we could click on the latest report if it is not the latest one, and we could also take a look at the previous reports if we have multiple executions. Yeah. Okay, so as we see, both the features are successful. We could go and see the results by tags. We could see the results by steps. We could also see the trends here. Then we could see the failures. Okay, so with this, we have finished creating a declarative pipeline by storing its script in Jenkins. Now we will move this script into a Jenkins file which is stored in GitHub repo. Yeah, so for that, let us go back to Jenkins. So for that we will edit the job. So okay, so we go back to the testing pipeline job here and we click on configure and we go to the pipeline section, and now we need to move this script into GitHub and provide the GitHub URL and file that contains this script information here. So for that, let us go to GitHub and let's say we will place that file parallel to the POM. So which means we inside this directory we will create that file, right? Okay, so how can we create that file here. So let's select this here, and then let's say we say add file, create a new file. Yeah, so this we are naming it as Jenkins file. So note that this is case sensitive. This is the name which we'll be providing later. I will highlight that. So for the time, let us note this name here. And now we need to provide the content. So this is a script. Instead of storing it in Jenkins, we want to move it to GitHub. So let us copy this script from here and let us move it to GitHub. So now let us commit this change. Yeah, so script has got committed. As we see, this file has got created, and this is the content out here. Now we need to update our configuration. So here, as we saw earlier, we have two options. So we earlier choose the first option. Now we need to choose the second option, where we are specifying that this script is available in SCM, which is the GitHub. So now in the GitHub, where it is stored, right? So we will say git, and then we have to specify the repository URL. So the URL for the repository is, let's go to home, and here let's click on copy URL. So we could come back here. This is the URL repository. The credentials are already stored, so we can take these here, or else we could add them from here. Fine. Then we have to specify the name of the branch, so which is the main branch here, right? So we will change it to main, and then we have to specify the name of the Jenkins file. So this is the name, Jenkins with J capital F small, right? And this is the file. If we go inside this directory, so here we have to specify the complete path. So let us click on this, and now let us click on this copy path. So we go back here and we will paste this here. So notice that it's not just a file name, it's a script path. So that script is inside this folder. So we have pasted this complete path here. Let us now click on apply and click on save. Okay, so now our pipeline job is ready. The only difference as compared to previous one is this time we have moved the script from Jenkins and we have provided the GitHub location where the script is present, right? In the Jenkins file in GitHub repo. Okay, then let us execute this and check this out. So for that, let us click on build now. Okay, it has triggered the job, and as we see earlier, this was the build 1, this is the build 2 which is getting executed. So yeah, so we see the checkout is successful, that is the first stage is completed in 6 seconds, right? And it is also showing there is one commit. This is a commit that we just now made to add the Jenkins file, right? So git clone is also successful, and then it is executing the tests using the Maven. So it should now execute both the feature files one by one. It should now launch the browser to execute the first test. Okay, let us wait, it should do that soon. Yeah, here we see it has launched the browser and it is executing the first test on bing.com. It will click on all these links, explore, flights, stays, car rental, one by one. Yeah, so should now click on stays, car rental. Fine. It should now move to execute the second feature file. Okay, we see the browser has got launched and second test is getting executed. Okay, so this stage is complete. It should now publish the reports. That is the next stage. As we see this title, published a test report in Jenkins, right? This is the title which is coming from this name of the stage, right? Okay, so job execution is complete, and as we see everything is successful. So let us go to Cucumber reports, and here if we go to latest results, so we see these are the latest results. Yeah, it's the latest timestamp, and we could also see the previous results So if we see now, these are the previous results, and if we click on latest results, then it's showing us the latest results, right? We could go to tags, steps, trends, failures, and so on. Okay, so let me quickly summarize what we have covered in the video. So in this video, we saw how to execute Cucumber tests by using a declarative pipeline in Jenkins. We started by reviewing the plugins that are required in Jenkins. Then we created a declarative pipeline in Jenkins. Initially, we created the pipeline and stored the pipeline configuration in Jenkins. Then we saw it is also possible to store this configuration in a Jenkins file in the code repository. We need to provide the path of the code repository in the Jenkins job. Well, that's all for this video. I hope this was useful. In case if you have any queries, let me know in the comment section. I'll get back to you soon. Thank you.